Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with the battle report. So I brought out my Bretonnians again, this time facing a Dark Elf player that I've never played before. Rolled up Battle for the Pass. I felt he brought a very interesting list, and I thought it'd make for a real good game. So starting on, I guess we're facing it at my left. I've got 11 Knights Errant with the Errantry banner, a big unit of men-at-arms, a Trebuchet behind them, 3 Peg Knights, 10 Archers. I've got my character bunker with basically 11 Knights of the Realm, and then I've got 4 characters. I've got my General, who's a Lord, kitted out as you can see. I've got my level 4 Prophetess. You can see her spells and what she's taken. If I'm going too fast, just pause it. I've got 2 tank Paladins, so they both have a 1-up rerollable armor save, and the one on the right also has strength 5. So it's a kit that's been working for me, and I just haven't felt like changing my list. Obviously, there's more men-at-arms, a couple more units of archers, fast cav, and then a trebuchet behind them. All my archer units have a musician as well as the flaming attacks. So facing me, starting on the left, he's got a repeater crossbow, and then a real surprising, he's got 5 dark riders, and then he's got his level 2 in there. And when I saw that, I mean, that's why I have 2 units of archers over here, and my fast cap. I just want to shoot at them, kill the Dark Riders, and get easy points for the sorceress. So, one rules question that came up that we didn't argue about, we just neither one of us really were sure, was that does this unit maintain their fast cap status when they're joined by a character? And I kind of thought they did, because I don't think there's necessarily a fast cab rule for a character, and she doesn't have barding on her horse. So if anybody thinks we're wrong, let me know. Anyway, he has a blackguard with the banner of Hagref. The champion has the ruby ring of ruin. Some harpies, some warriors behind him, a hydra, and then he's got his general bunker. 20 repeater crossbows with the high sorceress. The spells are in the lower right hand corner. Just got a lot of stuff on her that you just don't see that much. I mean, the sacrificial dagger I see a lot, but I've never heard of Life Taker or the Seal of Grond. And then, of course, there's the Iron Curse icon. But I thought it was kind of an interesting build. Again, not one that I've seen very often. Next to that, he's got a unit of executioners. This one with the banner of murder. And of course, I didn't know it at the beginning of the game, but it also has an assassin in there. There's some more warriors, harpers in front of him, and another repeater crossbow behind him, or repeater bolt thrower behind him. So one thing I thought was really interesting is, 1, there's no battle standard bearer. 2, the banners on his elite units seem swapped from what I would normally see. Normally you'd see the banner of murder, which gives you armor piercing. You'd see that on the blackguard, and you'd see the executioners with the Hagref banner, which gives them always strikes first. But he had thought about it. He really liked this. He felt these executioners with the armor piercing were just perfect night killers, and I would completely agree. As a matter of fact, even when I saw them on the table, I was like, my first thought was, I want them nowhere near my knights. So anyway, I thought it was a really interesting list. He has these units paired up: elite unit, core unit on both flanks, and supported by heavy shooting and pretty heavy magic. So anyway, so he goes first. He moves up, as you can see. He's kind of, twisting around, getting his units where he wants them. There's plenty of room, and he has me kind of outranged. Now, I was pretty confident with my range attack too, because I have dwellers below and 2 trebuchets and a bunch of archers. But he's got a bunch of crossbows, repeater bolt throwers, magic. So I think both of us were kind of thinking we had the other outranged. During the magic phase, he's picking on my fast cav unit. I really didn't care. I let him go at it. He got kind of unlucky with it, and with 2 magic spells, he still only killed 4 of them. And luckily, I passed my panic test. That was the big thing, because if I had failed my panic, he would have ran off the board, which wouldn't be a huge deal. More importantly, if he had killed it outright, it would have forced a panic on those bowmen, and they probably would have failed. So I was thrilled to pass my panic on a 6, and can't complain about that. During shooting, he kills a couple Knights Errant. He kills a couple his crossbows, pick on my Peg Knights and kill one of them. But the Peg Knights pass their panic, so I can't complain. So we go to Bretonnian turn 1, and this one I thought worked out pretty well. First off, the Peg Knights charge the harpies that you can see, And what I really liked about that is, one, I think I'm going to beat them in combat and get them out of the game, which is nice. But two, it's here. I'll focus in the because I kind of went as far right as possible when hitting them. If I beat them and overrun, I should be able to hit that crossbow unit. And if I, as long as I roll high enough, and I should roll high enough. And if I do, I can allocate one of these guys, put him corner to corner with a sorceress, and I might be able to kill her just by sacrificing these peg knights. And that would be well worth everything. So very happy with that. The other unit of harpies fled a charge from my other troops up there. So all the harpies are kind of out of the way for now at least. I didn't want them going up and getting my trebuchets too early in the game. My lone remaining fast cav, I didn't really know what to do with them, because if I kept them up at the front, I felt that the Dark Riders would just pick them off and get easy points and maybe cause panic. So I just brought them back behind my lines. Maybe use them later in the game for something. So we go to the magic phase, and one thing I like to do with the throne of is throw 2 dice at the throne of vines. It's kind of risky because I have to roll at least a 4. But then it kind of forces difficult decisions on my opponent. So anyway, yeah, I rolled 2 ones, ended the magic phase just like that. During the shooting phase, yeah, I put some wounds with my archers on the Hydra, and then later on realized that they should have had a +2 cover save because he was behind that wall. So we eventually just took the wounds back off of them. After combat, the harpies died very easily, overran into this unit. And, for the most part, I just really like this. For one, I've got 3 attacks able to go against a sorceress, so I might be able to do some wounds on her. If I can't kill her, then maybe I can get her down to 1 wound, so now she has to worry about a miscast, which would be nice. And also importantly, is during his shooting phase, this unit of crossbows is not going to be able to throw 40 bolts into the air. So, and with her, I guess it's 43 bolts because she has that one kind of bolt or crossbow thing. Anyway, we go to Dark Elf turn 2. It looks like you see, if you look at the very, very top, the Harpies did not pass their rally test and they fled. I can tell you on his next turn they rallied, and then I think he just forgot about them the rest of the game. But they were so far away from everything, I'm not sure how much they would have helped. But anyway. Over here we fought this on his turn, of course, and you can see I am down to 1 Peg Knight. I did 2 wounds to his sorceress, and then we realized that we forgot to do the -1 to hit because of the wall, and so we just thought it'd be simplest just to put 1 wound back on her. So even though that says 2, that actually means she's only taken 1 wound. So we go to Bretonnia turn 2. The big news was that my big lance charged his general's unit, and I was really hoping to make that. I think I needed a 9 or a 10. It was a pretty long charge. If I could have made it, that would have been really tough for him. I mean, I would have almost certainly broken that unit, ran him down, probably gotten out of range or out of sight for a countercharge, and taken his magic and a lot of points off the table. But it's all a moot point. We failed the charge. The bad news is, if you look at his executioners are at the top, he can see me. It'll be a flank charge, and he's really not all that far away. If measured it out, it was 12 inches away. His movement 5. He only needs to roll a 7. So the failed charge kind of really puts me in a very precarious position. Yeah, there we go. There's the charge that failed. During the magic phase, I get Dwellers Below. I cast on his Blackguard. My experience with Blackguard is you're just going to have to kill all of them anyway, so cutting this unit about in half was really, really helpful. It's a lot fewer wounds that I'm going to have to do in combat, so it makes them a lot more manageable. To get it, I got Irresistible Force, and it killed 3 knights, and in all honesty, I thought it was a good trade. I don't really need these knights. I mean, when all said and done, they're really just a character delivery system. So, not too unhappy there. At the end of combat here, my musician is still alive. Even though he's sitting on 1 wound, I'll take it. His sorceress now does legitimately have 2 wounds on her, and so I'm happy about that, because now if she miscasts, she has to worry about dying. And on Dark Elf turn 3, this unit is not going to be able to shoot because we'll still be locked in combat. So when all's said and done, I'm really happy with what the Peg Knights were able to do there. We go to Dark Elf turn 3, and this, oh, it was just so difficult. He declared a charge from the Executioners into my character bunker, and I just couldn't take the chance. I mean, it's not hard to roll a 7 on 2 dice. It would have been a flank charge by Executioners that are Strength 6, armor piercing. He would have had a nasty surprise in the Assassin. Oh, I just couldn't do it, so I just fled. Oh, it ruins my battle line. There was just no good solution there. I just hated it. It made me sick. But I fled. It's all I could do. Luckily, we did not run through the men-at-arms, so they're still standing there. The peasant bowmen, I ran through them, and they failed their panic test, so they ran away from the nearest enemy unit. I feel like my battle lines are totally screwed up. I don't have leadership or rerolls anywhere where I need it. Ugh. So overall, it looks like this. Look at the bottom. This unit of warriors charge my men-at-arms. He's going to win. I'm going to be steadfast. I'm going to be steadfast on a 6 with no rerolls. So I'm not real confident that I'm going to be able to stand there. Yeah. Now, the good thing I saw here, though, when his executioners failed their charge, what I'm looking at here is if I charge my knights errant and my men-at-arms into his warriors, I'll almost certainly beat him in combat, and then when we overrun, the men-at-arms should go into the flank of the executioners, and my knights errant might roll high enough to get into that Hydra. And if that were to happen, then I really couldn't ask for more. I mean, that'd probably be my best chance of taking out all 3 of those units. So there's one silver lining in an otherwise very, very cloudy sky right now. Sorry for the blurry pick. All I'm really showing here is my archers have been picking on the Dark Rider unit, and I've got them down now that when I hit, at least now we have to start allocating the shots between the champion and that level 2, and it's just frustrating. I can't wound him. I'm just, but anyway, he moves them back so that it's not quite so easy to hit with my archers. Over here, he kills my musician barely. He did 1 wound, but kills him before I could attack. So now he's there with all of his crossbows ready on his next turn to start shooting me again. And I wasn't able to kill the sorceress. The warriors predictably beat the men-at-arms. I was steadfast on a 6, and yeah, it wasn't good enough. So he beat him and ran him down. And things are looking a little bit gloomy here for the Bretonnians. So we go to his turn. So I charged the men-at-arms into his warriors, and he held. I charged my knights errant into his warriors, and he fled. And it really kind of surprised me. I mean, I think it was a smart move. I just hadn't considered it. So when he fled, then my men-at-arms redirected into his executioners, and he fled with them. And I really didn't expect that, but it was the smartest thing to do because, one, he's ahead in points. So all he has to do is not lose points. He's doing just fine. And why risk a flank charge with all that static combat res? My knights errant tried to redirect into the Hydra, and they failed. And so my units are sitting out there. His units are backed up. And there's a real good chance he's going to be able to countercharge with this Hydra. So, yeah, I thought I'd be able to mop up that side of the board, and with a couple of fleas, that's not going to happen. Here at the bottom, I took my bowman into the flank of his warriors. I'm not real confident that's going to work for me, but at least it's a chance. If I can get lucky and have him not kill any of my guys, and I think when I declare charges, I'm assuming I'm going to be able to rally my general's unit. I can put flesh to stone on my guys, and then there's a chance he won't wound me. And then I'll have a charge, a flank, and a rank to his banner. And hey, we might be able to get them off the table just through some peasants. So there are the fleas that really kind of threw me. And I went to take a picture of the failed charges, and the sun was setting, coming through a window, and I felt that it made just for a beautiful, neat picture. Yeah, I like that. Another angle on the heroic charge by the bowmen into the flank of the warriors. We did rally my general. If the general didn't rally, I might have just conceded the game. I certainly would have lost hope in being able to win the game. If you see that red token, that means they've lost their ward save. So during the magic phase, let's see, turn 1 I rolled double 1s and ended it. Turn 2 I miscast with Dwellers Below. Turn 3 I miscast on 2 dice Shield of Thorns. and blew up more knights. These knights, they are not liking having the sorceress in the group with them. Um, but I got Flesh to Stone off on these archers and Shield of Thorns. The thing I like about Shield of Thorns is if we stick around in combat and his Blackguard comes in, if he doesn't dispel it, it's allowing me to kill a few more of these guys outside of combat. With Flesh to Stone, I really thought he wouldn't be able to wound me, but he did. And that one wound was absolutely crucial because it made the difference between me winning combat and him winning combat. So now I have a charge and a flank. He has a banner, 2 ranks, and a wound. So he wins. Luckily, my general and my BSB are nearby, and I stick. So we go to his turn, and he countercharges with the Blackguard. That's a bad day to be a peasant. And his Hydra makes the charge into the Knights Errant. And it's not a good day to be a Knight Errant. That is not what I wanted there. Both these units rally, so his gambit paid off, and there's no reason to think it wouldn't. Yeah, things are looking troublesome for the Brets. Now, luckily during the magic phase, I think he just forgot to do Shield of Thorns. I saw him looking over here a lot, so I thought he was just considering whether or not he wanted to. I didn't take notes of what spells he did cast or try to cast, but I was able to dispel everything that he threw at me. Shield of Thorns stayed up and killed a few warriors and a few of the Blackguard. And with the Blackguard, that's just real important because I think when all's said and done, any way I can get any of those models off the table is going to help. During shooting, he picks on my men-at-arms unit, weakens them a little bit. And after combat, yeah, he didn't do too many wounds to me because I had Flesh to Stone up. But he easily broke me in combat. We ran away from the unit with the most ranks, and it looks like that. And actually, I really like how that looks because I'm looking at the flank of his warriors, and if he stays, I'm going to overrun into the flank of his Blackguard, and if he flees, I'm going to hit his Blackguard. So, yeah, not unhappy about how that went. Over here, his Hydra beat the Knights Errant in combat, broke them. They ran off the table, caused a panic test in the men-at-arms, and they fled. So I've got nothing even closely resembling a battle line anywhere. Of course, I'm not really sure what these men-at-arms would have done up there. I mean, they weren't going to beat anything that he had. So I declare a charge into his warriors, and he stuck because then he knew I would just go into his Blackguard. And Blackguard are immune to psychology, so they couldn't flee. So, yeah, just decided to stick with them. And let's see, I was able to rally the peasants in the middle of the table, which I thought was nice. And otherwise, I'm kind of moving up with my archers where I can, just trying to shoot that level 2 that's still with the Dark Rider. And it's just as you can see it. Now during the magic phase, it's my 4th turn. Let's see, turn 1, I rolled Snake Eyes and ended the turn on Throne of Vines. Turn 2 and turn 3, I miscast and blew up my Knight unit. Turn 4, I rolled Snake Eyes for Throne of Vines. Yeah, no, really, I did. It was great. Easily beat the warrior unit, overrun to the flank of the Blackguard. That's just always a dicey proposition, but I think I'll be okay there. Go to his turn, the Hydra charges the Trebuchet and fails it, which is wonderful. It gives me one more round of shooting. Now, during that round of shooting on my last turn, by the way, I was able to land a rock on his crossbows and took out half the unit. So it kind of helps. During his turn, during the magic phase, he miscasts with his level 2 here at the bottom and blows up the champion, so the level 2 is now all by herself. During his shooting, he really weakens the men-at-arm unit. And after combat, yeah, I killed several of them. I won. He was stubborn. Afterwards, he tested to reform, and now he's facing me. And this is where normally the knights just don't do any good. But having characters up there, it's just really tough for him to wound me. And I'm at least strength 4 or strength 5 with these guys because the one Paladin has a Sword of Might. So happy enough with that. If you see that weird token at the bottom of my Knight unit, I think that means that Word of Pain was cast on them and their weapon skill 1. And it was just funny. What that really does, it means when I rolled a hit, instead of 4s, I was on 5s. and I didn't roll any 4s anyway. I all rolled 5s or 6s. So anyway, we go to Bretonnian turn 5. Not a whole lot to do. I move my archers around to either shoot at the Hydra or shoot at the lone remaining level 2. I move my men-at-arms up for a possible charge next turn onto his sorceress bunker. And otherwise, we're just hanging out, as you can see. There's the men-at-arms. And yeah, there's that. And, oh, I guess there's that. Just means I wasn't able to kill him. He was still sticking around. So, Dark Elf turn 6. Hydra goes into the Trebuchet. I can't complain about it. He's going to win, but the Trebuchet was able to shoot all game at least. Not that they did much. Now, all the shooting I've been doing at the level 1, I did 1 wound on her. It's just amazing me. I can't hit her or wound her. She moves up so that only one diminished unit can fire at her. The other unit on my turn won't be able to see. Otherwise, she wasn't going to be able to avoid all my shots. During the shooting, it really weakens this men-at-arms unit. And over here, after combat, yeah, I was able to finish off the Blackguard. And so now, moving up so the archers couldn't see her, now she's right in front of all my knights. And, of course, the Trebuchet's dead. So, Bretonnian turn 6, why not? We're charging down a hill. That unit is greatly diminished. It's probably just barely under half of its starting size. But you know what? I've got 4 ranks. He has 1 rank. I'm charging down a hill. I think I have a decent chance of winning combat. And then it's really just the 50-50, or I guess I have slightly better odds of after breaking him being able to run him down. But if I can do it, the men-at-arms will be able to probably steal a victory from the jaws of defeat, because the game is kind of caught up and it's pretty close now. So over here, this was so frustrating. So they declared a charge against her, and she fled far enough that my guys failed their charge. I couldn't believe it. She is going to win. She is going to survive this game, sitting on 1 wound after 1,000,000 longbows have tried to get her. Over here, yeah, we just turn around, try to shoot at nothing's going to happen there. So, in an act of desperation, I take my trebuchet and lob a rock onto the head of his level 2, and I score a direct hit. It's so ridiculous in this game. Trebuchets were not exactly snipers, but we sniped the level 2. So she was sitting on 1 wound. She thought she had escaped everything, and it didn't happen. Trebuchet knocked her off her horse, and she is out of the game finally. And the men-at-arms go in there with some help from the sorceress. They have flesh to stone, so he did 1 wound on me. I did a few wounds on him, had a charge down the hill, ranks, banner, beat him in combat, ran him down. And the men-at-arms stole victory from the jaws of defeat. When all's said and done, I lost a big unit of men-at-arms, knights errant, and a trebuchet. He lost a unit of warriors, blackguard, and crossbows, and dark riders. So that seems like it might be somewhat close, but then I didn't lose any characters. He lost a level 4 and a level 2. When all was said and done, I think he killed... I killed 700 points more of his stuff than he killed of mine, plus the banners and all that kind of stuff. So, it's a real topsy-turvy game, just real fun. Kudos to my opponent for bringing a list that was very out of the ordinary and trying something new. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.